Motors are buzzing back behind us here as we're ready to contest the next round of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. It's a first for this series as we come to Tooele, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City, to one of the most beautiful racing facilities in all the land. Welcome to Miller Motorsports Park. Ken Stout, Cameron Steele right alongside. This will be the Geico Off-Road Nationals. You've had a chance, my friend, to get out on this track. It is brutal, it is fast. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
It's really busy is what it is. There's obstacles all over the place, and it doesn't really have a great flow, which I think is awesome for racing because, you know, you want to flow and jump and be smooth, but this thing, you're running into the other side of the landings, the ramps, you can't quite clear them. I think it's a beautiful thing. There's going to be a lot of chaos, as I like to say.
The two categories we'll focus on here today are the Pro 2. So the fans out here having a great time, but we're not finished by any means because the Pro 2 race is coming up. And with more on that, Rob Klepper is standing down with Rob McCachran.
And guys, as we approach the halfway point of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series in the Pro 2 class, it's been all Rob McCachran. Rob Mac, 3 consecutive wins. You got the points lead over RJ. A brand new racetrack, though. How fast is this 21 here this weekend?
Well, it's been really quick. Like you said, the last 3 rounds we won. We came in here. Nobody's been on the track before. We got a little bit of practice time with our Rockstar Energy BF Goodrich Pro 2. And we're fine-tuning as we go, and we're hopefully, you know, we'll be on top of the podium at the end of the day.
You guys, 6 podiums, 6 top 5, 6 top 10. I mean, it's been all Rob Mack here in 2010. Is anything different? I mean, you guys have the same crew this year.
Everybody's been the same crew. You know, we surrounded ourselves with great sponsors and a great crew, and it's kept us on the podium. Like you said, we got 6 podiums this year, and we want to keep this truck right on the top of the podium all year long.
Guys, he has a 39-point lead over Ricky Johnson as we approach the halfway point here in 2K10.
Those two guys battled viciously a year ago for the championship. There's the Geico Power Sports point standings coming in to round 7 with 6 rounds completed. Mack, Johnson, Menzies, your top 3. Rodrigo and Carl round out the top 5. And how about a tough Rob Knott first year in the category? And there's a look at Ricky Johnson, who won the first 2 rounds with that guy in tow, and Bryce Menzies certainly keeping the pressure applied to the top 2 guys in the points. It's on when we come back. Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series, Round 7 from Miller Motorsports Park, the Geico Power Sports Utah Nationals. Ken Stout, Cameron Steele. We also have Rob Klepper and Kelly Snyder covering all the action down there in the pits. This is the Pro 2 category as they get ready to kick off their Round 7 action. Let's go down to Kelly with more.
The man currently seated second in points is the number 48 of Ricky Johnson. Ricky said he likes this track, but the high altitude is really messing with his truck and his body. Before the race, we saw him in his trailer doing pressure treatments on all of his joints to sustain the longevity of this race. He said he has a new motor and he changed the gear, so hopefully his truck is dialed in and ready for this race.
Good information there. No doubt this elevation here has really put everybody behind the curveball. KMC Wheels, Pro 2 Unlimited, starting grid Todd LeDuc, Rodrigo Ampudia. Then it's Ricky Johnson and Carl Renesetter, your number 1 qualifier.
And then moving back to row 3, McCachran with Robbie Woods. On the inside, row 4, Robert Fignot, first full year inside the class, and Jeff Ward, the runner-up to the championship a year ago. Row 5, Menzies and Adler.
Let's go back to row 6. We find Jeff Geiser and Mike Johnson hoping to make a good run towards the front. We'll bump back to row 7 and find Kerry Hart with the veteran Kevin Probst. Nick Tyree in row 8 and Robbie Pierce round out the field of 16 trucks here today.
And the pace truck is off, Ken. We're going green flag racing.
Carl Renesetter right up on the back bumper of Rodrigo. They stand on the throttle. Here we go. Round 7 flying through the air at Miller Motorsports Park.
Rob trying to thread the needle.
Oh, nice little nudge to Carl Renesetter right off the bat. Spins him around. Hard contact. And to Rob McCachran, Renesetter trying to gather it up there in the rhythm section, or as you said it, lack of rhythm, which is a great example of it right there.
And getting into the lead early, number 8, Rockstar Energy Drink, Air Force sponsor machine of Todd LeDuc as the rest of the field follows. You can see there's been some water put down. It's slippery, and we're on board here. Speed Technologies onboard camera with Jeff Ward.
Jeff Ward's had his fair share of trouble so far this year, finishing the top 5 a couple of times, and on board with Rodrigo. Rodrigo, of course, with a devastating injury on a motorcycle trip called the Rip to the Tip, which of course you know about, but complete reconstruction of his left knee, unable to walk on it just a couple of weeks ago, has now finally gotten to the point where he can walk on it.
It's amazing what he's doing inside the truck, landing on the podium, his first race back from that knee reconstruction, and airtime is what it's all about. Great shot there. So many trucks in this two-wheel drive category. Rodrigo Ampudia hails from Ensenada, Mexico. Right behind him, Ricky Johnson, and now we're on board the Lucas Oil onboard camera. Number 36, you can see how much work it is inside the truck as he grabs the tear off.
Out front, once again, Todd LeDuc and Rodrigo. The 48 truck is Ricky Johnson. Right behind with 21 of Rob McCachran, who's working his way up from the third row. These two guys finished first and second. It looks like Rob Naughton also leaning up in there, trying to follow Rob McCachran through. McCachran sticks a nose in, was not able to take the spot.
And you see him using different lines. There's the fingers on the inside or the bumps to level out the playing field, hopefully making 2 lanes of racing there. And the Red Bull sponsored Traxxas machine of Ricky Johnson. You talked about him winning the first 2 rounds. This is the 3rd different truck that he has raced inside of in the series. Oh, little drifting there by Todd LeDuc.
Great job. Todd LeDuc has struggled a bit this year, but when he gets out front, he is tough to beat. Your Rockstar Energy drink, top 5, has Todd out front. Motorsports Park is where we're at with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. Round 7 action of the Pro 2 category. Ricky Johnson in the 48 truck in 3rd place, and Rob McCachran, doors falling off, rear quarters are gone. He's been beat up back there a little bit today.
He definitely has, and you've talked about him having some problems with his jetting and getting the truck perfectly dialed in. Right now, running 4th behind Ricky Johnson is not a bad place to be, but he's been so familiar with leading as of late.
You know, it's not just getting the engine to run properly, but with the horsepower that they're losing here, somewhere in the 7 to 10% range, it also changes the gearing substantially, so they've got a lot to do.
Definitely, and when you're looking at, oh, Ricky Johnson trying to make the move, that's exactly why the designer put the fingers in there. Rodrigo unsettled a little bit by that finger, maybe getting a little more pop out of it than he expected, but Ricky Johnson making a solid move, and Rob McCachran now next behind him.
Another look at it here, Cam.
Watch Rodrigo, the white-red truck just catches an edge of that finger, has to turn into it, lets Ricky by. Good pass by RJ. Let's check in with Rob.
And guys, he just takes over 2nd spot, currently 2nd in the points. RJ, Ricky Johnson in that Team Red Bull number 48. 2 wins this year, and he doubled them up to kick off 2010. Now, they had some steering issues earlier this weekend. They were really trying to pick up some speed through the jetting, because with all the elevation up here, you got to take some fuel away from these motors and lean them down. They changed a lot of gearing. They were very fast in practice, very fast in qualifying, and RJ right now getting it done, running in 2nd spot.
And while they lean those trucks down, it's not as easy as it sounds. They also have to make the truck very drivable and responsive so that when they pick up the throttle, those rear tires are spinning. Otherwise, they hit a rut. They get in trouble and flip.
And you can see Rodrigo now in the Papas and Beer Tecate sponsored number 36, using the entire finger like the other drivers around him, not going around and catching the edge there. Good way to adapt, see what the other drivers around you are doing, and learn from maybe your mistakes.
Renazetter taking a look at the inside of Rob McCachran. McCachran trying to pick his way up towards the front. That's a little deeper in the pack. Again, we go back up to the front. The number 8 is Todd LeDuc. And Todd LeDuc having a good run so far as he hangs on to the lead. Carl Renazetter does get around Rob McCachran. We talked about McCachran struggling with that engine and trying to get it to work, become very drivable, like I was saying before. Once again, we watched Todd LeDuc having a great run here. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of history between him and Ricky Johnson going years back. Just a few years ago, those guys had no love lost for each other. The 91 truck in trouble.
And a local caution. Everybody has to slow down. No roosting, no sliding, no passing. Not even supposed to gain any time on your competitors as they get by Nick Tyree, who is parked in the side of the rhythm section.
Rodrigo Ampudia still keeping pace. Carl Rennesetter right behind him. We take a look at the number 8 truck of Todd LeDuc. Front of that truck still clean. He's been out front pretty much the entire race here. And Ricky Johnson trying to find a way by. Boy, I'll tell you, these guys are eating some dirt, rocks, and mud out here today.
They definitely are. The track is drying up as we come to the mandatory caution. We're going to re-rack them, so everybody races to the flag. And so now Todd LeDuc will have the position on the restart. Maybe Ricky not sure that he got the mandatory caution as he races around the outside.
There's your Rockstar Energy Drink top 5. They'll be ready to go for the back half of this race. The Bully Dog Pace Truck coming back out onto the track as we get ready to restart the Pro 2 division here at Miller Motorsports Park. The Geico Power Sports Off-Road Nationals, round number 7. Here we go.
Risky running down the inside, hard to stop. Todd comes in and fills the line, so to speak, as we go on board at the General Tire Cam here from Carl Rennesetter's viewpoint.
Rob McCachran back up beside Carl Rennesetter to take the spot away. Door to door, if you will.
Rob trying to throw his door at him, it looked like. Wow, a great shot in the air. Carl Rennesetter.
Carl Rennesetter yard darts it big time. Only the second time in his career. The first time during a race was about 3 years ago in practice that he did that stunt. But that is a devastating hit.
We've been talking about these limbs. It's risky to hold it wide open, and from on board.
Oh, the GoPro camera surviving a hit, and then just to add insult to injury, gets tagged right at the very end by Mike Johnson.
Robert Naughton did a great job avoiding, as does Bryce Menzies. And then Adler and Wood split him, and a little bit of straight-in contact from Mike Johnson.
Man, talk about momentum to watch that thing go over twice. Here comes Ricky Johnson making a move for the lead up beside Todd LeDuc.
And he's got the line. Todd has to let him stay. Now Todd's going to go and try to get through the outside of this rhythm section and set up going into 2 and 3.
Todd takes another look back to the inside. And that jump right there kind of kicks you off to the left by design.
And here's where Carl crashed. They've got him out of the way.
Carl is okay. We're hearing on the radio the truck heavily damaged. Boy, these guys are nose to tail, getting a little dusty out there. Robert Naughton, the 54 truck from Stronghold Motorsports. There's a look at Bryce Menzies deep in the field here today.
On board with the Bully Dog Cam.
You can hear the rocks and the mud hitting that camera. And RJ with a nice lead has stretched it out some now. Red Bull Mac Machine, of course, and then right behind him, Rockstar.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And RJ pulls out of the way. A mechanical for Ricky Johnson.
Shocker, mate. Wow.
McCachran really struggling back in there. The door hanging off the 21 truck. Bryce Menzies drives up beside him and around him. And again, back out front will be Todd LeDuc. Ricky Johnson in trouble. Looks like his day is done early. There is your MagnaFlow exhaust. Top 3. Geico Power Sports Utah Off-Road Nationals presented by E3 Spark Plugs.
And I want to point out what we saw right there, Rodrigo tucking down underneath Todd LeDuc. A lot of people say Rodrigo Ampudia doesn't mind running into you, but he did a great job of racing very clean with no contact as they went into turn 1. But it looks like not only does he have the speed, but he's willing to risk it. We saw Carl Rennesetter crash going too fast, maybe off a jump. Watch Ampudia. He will hold it wide open off any jump on the track.
Right up beside him there, takes the position away, nearly landed on the back of him over that jump, which is exactly what he did in Las Vegas when he took second position away from him. Of course, he was off to the side, but Rodrigo, very fast out here, has a chance at his first career Pro 2 win.
Stretching out a couple car lengths as they go to, oh, and Rob McCachran is out. See smoke. Ken, you talked about the jetting that he was going through, maybe a little bit too lean.
So a couple of big players sitting off to the side. Another one with a violent fire, that's Kerry Hart. A scary looking situation there as we go on board.
Wow, that's too bad for Kerry and the MAV TV Hart and Huntington machine. Oh, he's got flames inside the truck.
All the way around him, both sides of him.
Wow, a scary situation. He's going to get out all right.
And I will tell you, if you've never been in that situation, you cannot imagine what it's like. That is so scary.
And so much adrenaline pumping right there. No harm, no foul, though.
Good news is Kerry is A-OK.
And you can see Rodrigo now in the Papas and Beer Tecate sponsored number 36, using the entire finger like the other drivers around him, not going around and catching the edge there.
Rodrigo Ampudia out front, the Papas and Beer Lucas Oil back machine. The young gun from Ensenada, Mexico.
And another young driver in fourth right now is Bryce Menzies. He's right there hawking this crew as we're getting the white flag. One more lap to go.
Todd LeDuc in second. Then it's Robert Naughton in third. It would be a career best finish for him. Bryce Menzies trying to change that if he can take over the position. Not all four wheels off the rhythm section this time.
And not gaining track position, but keeping momentum. If he would have stayed on the track, Bryce might have got in there and been able to dice with them, but Fig using everything he can to stay on the podium.
And hoping they don't use a black flag on him for a stop and go.
Right now, it looks like Ampudia, with a couple truck lengths, clearly in control.
And I'll tell you, right behind Bryce, here comes Greg Adler with a late race charge. Two wheels on that inside finger. He gets up on the bicycle.
Wow, right in Bryce's mirror. One more turn to the finish line. Can Bryce hold off Adler? Look at Adler trying to charge. First win ever for Rodrigo.
And I promise you that pit crew will be ecstatic. Congratulations to Rodrigo Ampudia. His father's just a super individual. That entire family always out here supporting him. Of course, he's had a number of wins in the Pro Light division, but this is his first. And Pro 2, you can see the excitement.
That's huge for this team, and 5 wins in the lights class, moving up last year and really taking a huge bite, and this will give him a lot of momentum. He has been so fast and so solid. He's amped.
25 years old, doing a great job out here today. They've worked so hard for this first win. He deserves every inch of it. He's always just ballistic fast. We'll talk to our winner when we come back. We're back here for round number 7, Miller Motorsports Park. It's all in the books now, though, and your winner is Rodrigo Ampudia. Let's take you back to our E3 Spark Plugs race recap. Right off the bat, it was Todd LeDuc who led him across the stripe and led the race for a long time, but that number 36 truck was not going to be denied here today.
Rodrigo diving to the inside, making the pass work, and then filling up the lane on the fingers there. Rodrigo would lead him around, but Carl Renazetter would have a vicious crash. The good news, Carl would be okay.
Double end over end and then tagged at the end by Mike Johnson. Rodrigo Ampudia definitely hanging it out big time over the jumps, standing on the throttle over the moguls. And when the checkered flag flew, he had just earned his first career Pro 2 race. Big props from Dad. Let's get it down there.
Rodrigo Ampudia, you are no stranger to this podium, but this is your first Pro 2 win. What a race. Once you got out front, though, it looked like it was just easy for you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was great. My VF Goodrich tires were working up great. Too bad I couldn't get the whole shot. Thought I had it for a second. Todd LeDuc got by me, then I made a mistake, and Ricky got by me. And since then, I was like, all right, no more mistakes, have a clean race. VF Goodrich tires starting to come into the track. It was just amazing. I mean, the engine temperature went up to 250. Lucas Oil just made it run all the way to the finish. So stoked to be here.
Now, last time we saw that you had a hurt leg. How is it feeling out there?
I still have a brace on, still can't really walk, but hey, I'm on. It's so great to be here. I mean, so much has gone in my life in the past couple of months, and to be on the podium and on top, it's great. It's amazing.
Well, guys, he always seems to impress us out here. I'm sure there's going to be a big Papas and beer party in the pits tonight.
Dad in there, of course, with a big hug, and I think his knee's feeling better.
Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about the knee injury. He's walking around on it like no problem.
Very cool stuff, your Geico Power Sports point standings. Rob McCackron loses a little bit here today. Rodrigo with a big jump up to second place. Bryce Menzies in third. Ricky Johnson falls from second to fourth. A happy Papas and Beer and Lucas Oil team. And boy, what a beautiful facility this is. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series as we bring you to Miller Motorsports Park. It's an incredible racing facility, one of the prettiest backdrops anywhere. To the spectacular Miller Motorsports Park in Tooele, Utah. Off-road, Le Mans, Grand Am, NASCAR, the biggest series in all of motorsports all visit this place at one time or another. The fans here are spectacular. They do love their racing. And we're about to bring them some spectacular racing, courtesy of Pro2.
I'm actually just nervous watching all these trucks come through the unrhythm section, as I like to say. I mean, anything can and will happen generally, and this Pro 2 category has so much talent, so many guys trying to move in the front. Let's take a look at some of them. The MagnaFlow exhaust on board will be with Greg Adler. The KMC wheels on board with RJ, Ricky Johnson.
Already some mud on it. And Rob McCackron with the Rockstar Energy drink on board, looking off the side of that one. And Bryce Menzies with the Bully Dog, #1 in performance, on board.
And then we go on board with racing icon Jeff Ward with the Speed Technologies on board, and the General Tire on board, who brought us some very scary shots of Carl Endoing just one round ago. And there he is. He got the truck back together, but you will notice immediately he is in the back of the pack. They couldn't make the call for qualifying because of all the damage. And here is our KMC Wheels starting grid.
Greg Adler will lead him to turn #1 alongside Kyle LeDuc, then Rob Naughton on the inside of row 2, and Robbie Woods on the outside.
And here's the fastest two drivers. Ricky Johnson qualifying for what they would call pole position next to Rob Mack, but with the invert, they're on row 3. Rodrigo Ampudia, winner 1 round to go, and Bryce Menzies.
Jeff Geiser and Michael Johnson will be beside each other in row 5. Row 6 will be the veteran and Kevin Probst, and of course Jeff Ward, the icon you spoke of just a couple of moments ago.
Nick Tyree will be on row 7 with Robbie Pearson, the #30 Mastercraft truck, and then Carl Renezetter, our champion from last year, doing work from the back. We'll see what he can put together, but hey, never count Carl Renezetter out. He is a man on a mission. As we watch the #10 and the #8, we'll take him to that green flag, and it's all about Greg Adler when he wants to get on the throttle. But Todd LeDuc looks like a little bit of jump there on the outside.
He pushed it just a little bit. But now with the big run, here comes Greg Adler, so maybe Todd checked up just a moment. Rob Naughton on the inside, taking a look, as is Rob McCackron with the Rockstar Energy truck.
And we'll watch the dance of chaos, and it's the 4-Wheel Parts Wholesaler sponsored machine #10 of Greg Adler, followed by the #8 Rockstar Makita Air Force sponsored truck of Todd LeDuc, and Rob Naughton in the yellow truck there up on a smooth line, so to speak. You got to get down and hit all the jumps, and watch Naughton out to the outside. He's trying to go around those whoops just a bit. He's got a great run.
3 wide in turn #5. It just does not work. Naughton checks up. McCackron runs into the back of him. Adler into the side of Naughton. Over the fingers they go. Look at the suspension go to work. Here comes McCackron with a 21 on the outside, RJ on the inside. They're getting busy here, and lap #1. Oh, a big save for Naughton.
Look at McCackron with the run. He makes it work past Adler. Next in front of him will be Naughton. And Naughton has been on a tear, and with more on Robert Naughton, let's check in with Rob Klepper.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with Rob Naughton back in the pits earlier today. He finished third, his best finish of the year, first podium finish in the Pro 2s. He's really still trying to figure out this 2-wheel drive truck. Of course, a former Pro Light champion, multi-time winner in the light trucks. He said he's starting to get more comfortable each and every week. He just wants to stay consistent. Comes in here 6th in the points after round #7. Rob Naughton looking for another podium finish.
Real solid effort out of him. Exactly what we expected to. Of course, a former champion inside of the Pro Light category. He's cut his teeth there. Good battle going on here between Rob McCachran, right behind him in the 48 truck. Red Bull sponsored machine, of course, Ricky Johnson.
And RJ, 7-time motocross supercross champion. Oh, a little chop down. Now you saw the light trucks earlier in the show. They were avoiding those fingers on the inside. Right there, Ricky Johnson with a great run on McCachran. Look at this.
Ricky sticking the nose in there. Thinks wiser of it, backs out a little bit, and now here comes Rodrigo Ampudia. The second you check up, man, there's somebody behind you to take the spot away.
Ampudia winning 1 round to go on this very same track, but he is also known for being willing to really hold it on. Let's watch some of the drivers checking up on this big jump in front, others not. And Ricky Johnson trying to find a way around McCachran, and all this while, Rodrigo is lurking right in there as well. So this is a big hitter. All 4 of these trucks, the capability of winning. Of course, Knott, who's leading them, new to the category, but a podium, 1 round to go.
Yeah, I think Robert Knott maybe just a tick slower here, but drives a great line and is just fast enough to hold these guys up a little bit. It makes it very difficult for him to pass him. Up there again with the right side tires, kind of missing the whoops. By the way, we haven't talked about him too much, but Todd LeDuc is out front driving away. Here comes Mac.
And Mac uses the finger to try to make it work. Now he's going to get a run around the outside. Checks up just a little bit into that jump to get down on the ground. The more time your tires are on the ground, the more time you're driving forward. And Mac with a great move on Naughton.
Well, you know, if you hit these jumps out here on this particular track wide open or really hard, it will kick the back end up, and you'll stuff the nose like we saw Carl Reynolds that are do a round to go.
Vicious. So now Ricky Johnson in the number 48 machine, the Red Bull Traction sponsor machine, trying to make a move. Also, and he goes to the inside on Naughton, a little contact.
Now you always say side to side's okay. Well, that was a hard one.
Side to side is okay. You can't punch him in the corner of the truck to try to spin him out, but RJ doing work, taking another look. Off the big jump, big commitment. Now, Naughton is looking at the back of McCachran, and here comes RJ right down to the inside. Little bump and run, it's okay.
You know, you really couldn't see it from there, but Robert Knott was actually up on 2 wheels, so a great save for him as well. It's a little more of a hard hit than that one indicated, but you know what? He did have the position. He was all the way up beside the door, so good pass for RJ as Todd LeDuc leads your K&N top 5. The race is on. It has been a wild Pro 2 race. Todd LeDuc leads them out here at Miller Motorsports Park. It is the Geico Power Sports Utah Nationals. Rob McCachran, the 21. There's the Red Bull Traxxas truck of Ricky Johnson, number 48. And these 2 guys have certainly proven that they are the class of the field from time to time. Very, very fast trucks. Rob Naughton has fallen back just a little bit, but here comes Rodrigo Ampudia.
Ampudia has gotten by Naughton. A little bit of damage to the front of Ampudia's truck.
Rob Naughton with the Stronghold Motorsports, and he has a flat right front tire.
And Bryce Menzies in the number 7. The Bully Dog Blanco Basura sponsored truck doing work, one of the young guns of sport. He's actually running in the top 3 in points, so he's looking to move forward, and he has been charging great at the end of races, and I think it's partially him being smart and staying out of the chaos in the early part and then running so fast in the later part of the race, and there's that flat tire you talked about.
Tough go of it for the man that finished on the podium for the first time in the category. Just 1 round to go, and it's like Greg Adler trying to make a move up. Oh, man, and he makes contact there in that left-hander turn number 5. Ooh, nice little shot of some of the roost rolling up in there. GoPro giving us some great onboard shots here. Kanan, that's Michael Johnson, the number 31 truck.
Now you'll see Rob Naughton. Oh, and Naughton doesn't go out into the hot pit.
Well, the hot pits here, as you well know, is a long ways around. So you do that, you are definitely out. I mean, he's not going to win this thing no matter what, but you would think he'd pull in there just to keep from causing some more damage.
Well, let's not forget we have the mandatory caution coming up as well. If I were him, I would have pulled into the pit earlier and then tried to work through from the mandatory caution where we bunch all the trucks back up about halfway through the race. So maybe just not sure what's wrong with the machine. Maybe he's waiting for a spotter to confirm that it was a flat tire.
You pull in before that mandatory caution, though, you will go a lap down here as far out as those hot pits are. If you wait for the caution, you might be able to sneak back out there.
Good point. Couple different strategies to look at. Ken, you and I, we don't always have to agree, right?
Do we ever agree?
That's a good point. Here's a couple guys that generally don't agree either. McCachran and Ricky Johnson. One thing we can't agree on, they are both bad men inside these trucks.
Talented drivers, and I think they do really respect each other when it comes to those driving talents. Mandatory caution out. Todd LeDuc leads the group by. It's going to get exciting here in the back half, though, as we watch Mike Johnson, 31 truck, Greg Adler, and here comes the number 17, the reigning class champion, Carl Rennezetter. Looks like that nose is beat up a little bit.
And to your point about the mandatory caution and Rob Naughton, I saw him come around that corner, so he didn't duck in right as the mandatory caution came out. So he's not using that strategy either. He's staying out, it looks like.
So he has us both confused. All right, there you go, your K&N Top 5. Todd LeDuc hangs on. The restart when we come back. All right, the Pro 2 division has the front half of the race completed. The back half about to begin. Ken Stout, Cameron Steele, also getting some help from Kelly Snyder and Rob Klepper. There is a look at the Bully Dog Pace truck. Of course, that Toyota doing a great job, but this is set up to be very exciting here in the back half. Todd LeDuc out front, finished second, 1 round to go. Rob McCachran right behind him. Ricky Johnson right behind him. Rodrigo, who won, 1 round to go. Then Bryce Menzies. I mean, it is a stacked house.
It definitely is. Let's keep an eye here. Couple different styles in setup and driving. LeDuc, who is always willing to hang it out a bit. Rob Mack, who always looks like he's running a ballet in the truck. So Rob Mack looking to the inside. But LeDuc has the line, and here comes Ricky Johnson. So LeDuc with a great turn number 1. He holds that lead position in the Rockstar Energy Makita Air Force sponsored machine.
He didn't overdrive it right there. I mean, a great job. It's so easy to do on those restarts with all that adrenaline pumping. Yeah, you know, he's been kind of checked out with the Rockstar Makita machine, but he won't check out on these guys right here. This is going to be a dogfight.
Max squirrel dogging it just a little bit, swapping side to side. Oh, here comes RJ.
RJ takes a look on the inside, but immediately Mac slams the door. RJ almost stuffs the nose. And Todd LeDuc checking out on these guys.
Yep, and Mac was out into those hydro barriers in the top. Now, they're not filled with water, so they will just move, but they're marking the boundaries of the course. Here comes Ampudia now. Right there in the mix as well. So your top 4 trucks, as Ken stated, very capable of winning.
Great battle here. They've closed back up. You might notice the very wide nose on Mac's truck. Oh, and Todd LeDuc misses it all by himself.
An unforced error, very uncharacteristic for LeDuc, one of the great drivers in this class. But look at this. Ricky
like
Johnson making a double pass. LeDuc gives it up, and Rob Mack gets passed by RJ.
Rob McCachran got all out of shape in that unrhythm section, you call it. And Ricky Johnson takes advantage of it.
And this is where we saw Rob Mack step out last time around, get up near those barriers. And here comes Bryce Menzies charging on Ampudia.
McCachran back around beside Ricky Johnson, lands on top of Ricky Johnson. Both of them side by side right there. RJ spins out and goes to the back of the pack. One more look at it.
So it looks like Mack down to the inside, and
boy, right rear tire right in the window neck.
Taking another look. Boom. Now, RJ did leave the door open, but RJ is holding his line. Oh! Really?
I'm telling you, dude, that was wild right there, to say the least. But you mentioned, I mean, the bottom was open, but they both went over the jump, kicked the truck out a little bit. You know, and Rob McCachran does not have a reputation of driving dirty.
He doesn't, but he definitely drifted out into RJ right there.
Well, you're going to lean on him, right? You told me side to side's okay.
You got to make the pass. You got to go for it. So Rob goes to the inside and gets alongside and makes it work. He gets to the front. RJ comes around, and knowing RJ like we do, I pretty much can guarantee he's not a very happy man inside the truck.
Probably a little emotion going on as we watch the Speed Technologies on board of Jeff Ward, currently in 6th place, just missing a championship a year ago.
Oh, and more contact. Wardy with Rennezetter. Rennezetter not taking any guff from anybody on that one.
Well, he's determined to come from the back of the pack here today. There is Rob McCachran, and I started to talk about those noses. You see that extension on that nose. It feels like it's a little more aerodynamic, especially when you're flying out here.
Hey guys, a tough break for Todd LeDuc. Was your leader, fell back and forth after spinning out on that restart. But it's a big weekend for Todd LeDuc and his wife, Leah. They inked a deal with the U.S. Air Force for 3 events here in 2010. They're very excited to have the Armed Forces on the side of the Rockstar Energy Drink number 8 truck. Right now, he's trying to work his way back into that podium. Again, very happy to have the U.S. Air Force on the side here at Miller Motorsports Park.
And we don't want to forget Makita. It's actually Rockstar, Makita, and the U.S. Air Force, so congrats to them for picking that one up as well. As we watch Rodrigo Ampudia, Bryce Menzies, man, and this track is just brutal. Talk about off-road racing. This is it.
Hang on to your hats and glasses, folks. Oh, and a very similar pass. Rob Mack on RJ. Todd LeDuc goes to the inside and drifts out into Bryce Menzies.
That bottom is open, and as a racer, you're going to take advantage of it, given the opportunity. Look at that ruts, man. These guys up on 2 wheels, standing on the throttle, through the mogul section, whip it into a left-hander. This is not a game for the faint of heart.
And the Papas and Beer Lucas Oil sponsored machine of Rodrigo Ampudia right there, the number 36 truck, is definitely beat up, but it doesn't look like any damage that really is affecting the truck at all. It looks like it's all cosmetic. Oh, and speaking of damage, Robbie Pierce has taken a dirt sample.
The Mastercraft back machine, and Robbie, a super guy. He is the man behind Mastercraft. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he is using his safety products
I
there.
was just going to say he's actually testing out his own safety restraints and a little barrel roll and pirouette. The judges' scores are going to come in at about a 6.5 on that one, Robbie. Let's not try that again, but you could improve on your scores in the future. Hopefully not.
The good news is he's A-OK. Still sitting in the truck right there. If he can start it back up, he can still race. All right, when we come back, it will be a green-white checkered. It's going to get wild. At Miller Motorsports Park, setting up for a green-white checkered finish in the Pro 2 division. Robbie Pierce, unfortunately, had flipped in turn number 1. They threw a full-course caution to get him out of the way. He is okay. Game on.
Menzies with the run in the red and black hood.
Todd LeDuc out front. Rodrigo Ampudia in second, looking for back-to-back wins here at Miller. Oh, and it looks like he got a little help there from Bryce Menzies.
Bryce staying down to the inside.
And by the way, no love lost between Bryce Menzies and Rodrigo Ampudia.
They have definitely spent some time connected. Oh, and
do so again.
RJ with the big run as well coming up, and Carl getting a little squirrely on the jump where he crashed. Just 1 round to go, and Ampudia is all over the place in that one.
Carl made a huge run on that restart, was working up into the top 3. Then he and Rodrigo got together.
If you haven't watched off-road short course racing before, I think you're probably a fan after watching this one.
I agree with you 100% as we watch Rob McCachran, Todd LeDuc, then Ricky Johnson back into third in this battle for 4th right here.
And that's the number 17 machine, the Lucas Oil sponsor, Carl Rennezetter, who we had talked about starting all the way to the back and on the bicycle. Has to check up just a bit as we come to the white flag. Will Menzies have a run on him?
Would be a great comeback for McCachran after a DNF, 1 round to go. And look at Carl's truck, man. That thing has been through a war coming from the back of the pack here today. Started off dead last. Hats off to that crew as well. Those guys worked so hard, had to replace an engine in his Pro 4 after round 7 and completely rebuild that truck after he yard darted that one in round number 7. Those guys got very little, if any, sleep.
Off that very jump right there, and Menzies still giving a big charge. It's my teammate on the big red machine. I'm not homing for him, but he's looking good.
Rob McCachran, there's a look at him right there. 1 round to go, finished in 10th, now up in front. Rockstar Energy Drink, Mastercraft working that throttle through the right-hander over the moguls, picking up that inside rear tire. I don't think he's not driving it hard. Coming around for the checkered flag. Rob McCachran puts 4 wins in the book on the 2010 season. Congratulations to him. Has been on the podium for 7 of 8 rounds.
And LeDuc making it work for second, and RJ with a 3rd place finish.
Here's your Rockstar Energy drink. Round 8 results, McCachran, Leduc, and then how about RJ hanging on? Carl Rennesetter with a solid run from the back of the pack. That is what it's all about.
Definitely, and as we look farther back on the board, a bummer for Robbie Woods, who qualified 3rd coming into this event. He finishes in the basement. Rob Mack making it work in the number 21, lucky 21 straight out of Las Vegas. Mack adding to the win list as we take a look at our E3 Spark Plugs race recap.
Here we go, 3 wide, lap number 1, turn number 5. Todd Leduc comes out on the point. Adler trying to hang on. Robert Naughton right beside him.
A lot of contact at the top of that turn number 5, and Naughton would go back to the back of the pack with a flat tire. Todd Leduc would do a donut all by himself, and Rob Mack in a little contact with Ricky Johnson.
Carl Rennesetter from the back of the pack had plenty of contact as well, but would come back to finish 4th. A great run for the champ. All right, let's get down to the winner's circle.
The guy on top of the points battle, Rob McCachran. There was a lot going on out there, to say the least. Take us through what happened.
Oh, definitely. You know, there's a lot at stake in these races, and both Ricky and I qualified 1-2. Ricky was 1st, I was 2nd. They inverted the top 3, and it's going to be, I knew it was going to be tough to get to the front, as did Ricky. And, you know, we just worked our way through, and finally we got up there, Ricky and I, and, you know, we were battling for the points championship, and, you know, our sponsors, Rockstar Energy, BF Goodrich, and Mastercraft Safety, those guys want us to win. We got to answer to them, and, you know, we went as hard as we could. You know, Ricky and I got together, and he's not happy about it, but we're here in the winner's circle.
Well, congratulations on that 1st place finish for you.
Thank you.
By the way, Rob McCachran matching the number on his truck and Pro 2 class wins. That is class win number 21. So Rob McCachran, Bryce Menzies, Rodrigo, of course. But talking about the points, Ricky Johnson, we're hearing, has been DQ'd for an incident on the track.
So he's getting a penalty, and it's going to cost him in the points. Unfortunately, sometimes it gets a little crazy on the racetrack.
Yes, it does. Emotions run high, and that was an intense race, to say the least.